Coming to you from his downtown Denver studio, here's the Backstage Jazz Radio Show with your host, Steve Roby.
Hello, friends at home and friends in the studio. This is the Backstage Jazz Show, and I'm Steve Roby. My guest today is trumpeter Koki Renwick from the trio Moon.unit. The trio will perform at Dazzle on Saturday, January 6th for a 6 p.m. show. Welcome to Backstage Jazz, Koki.
Hi.
Hey, why don't we start with your musical background and some of your influences?
I was born and raised in Louisville, and just from there was really just surrounded by a lot of music in the first place. And I ended up going to Denver School of the Arts, where I studied with Greg Gisbert, Anthony Zader, a few trumpet players in the local area. And that really just introduced me to a lot of local and international music that I wouldn't have heard. So I guess some of my inspirations right now are Nat Adderley, Lester Bowie, musicians like that.
Yeah, Greg Gisbert has been a guest on the show, so it's nice to make the connection with
I saw that, yeah.
who he's reached out to. Well, let's talk about the trio Moon.unit and the group's music styles.
It's always hard for us to figure out something that we really want to settle with. We jump between a lot of different realms. We like to keep that box really open, but I guess in our most recent album, we focused heavily on sort of like a modern jazz, modern swing kind of feel with hip hop influences. But at the same time, we incorporate a lot of improvised music, some like noise music in there, some folk music. We just try and pull as many inspirations as we can for this, for our project.
Nice. Who's in the trio besides you?
Yeah, so it's me on trumpet and electronics. We've got Dominic Vance on drums, and we have our pianist and our bassist, Jake Walters, who's doing keyboard, synth bass, and rapping as well.
Nice, yeah. You sent over 2 tracks from Moon.unit's debut album, Live from Somewhere. Where was it recorded?
Mm-hmm. That was a house show that we put on here in Boston. We just set out a Zoom recorder, and the recording quality turned out well enough, so we spent a little bit mixing and mastering it, and that's the product that we have out there now.
Nice. The first track we're going to play is called Franconia Notch. What can you tell me about the album and this particular track?
Yeah, that was written by our pianist, Jake Walters. There's I'm not entirely sure of the geography, but there's a spot in New Hampshire where he's from called Franconia Notch. And the tune was named after that. There's a lot of background noise. It was a house show and it was live. So there's some music happening in the audience. It begins with a rap from a poem that Jake wrote, and then we build from there into the tune.
Okay, well, let's give it a listen. This is Franconia Notch by Moon.unit off their debut album called Live from Somewhere, and let's play it now.
I've been on the lean, on the outbound. Me and my team, yeah, we out now. Getting fucking schemes off the ground now. Tell me what you mean when it's southbound. I've been feeling green cause the sun's out. Chilling with the seas with the buds out. Plant another tree when we count down. Standing with my team, yeah, we found out. I've been on the lean, on the outbound. Me and my team, yeah, we out now. Getting fucking schemes off the ground now. Tell me what you mean when it's southbound. I've been feeling green cause the sun's out. Chilling with the seas with the buds out. Plant another tree when we count down. Standing with my team, yeah, we found out. Get the ante up, all bets down, cause my hands are cut. Diamonds bleeding, shining in the dancing sun. Feeling frantic, run, mania. Aiming up, Mason, grin, I'm chasing wind to find out where the candy rush. Yes, excellent, festering, all up inside my vessel. Feeling so electrical, I'm sending out these messages now. In the nest of the now, feel the estrogen cloud. Leave the rest and I'm out. I've been testing myself, I'm investing in wealth. I'm attesting the vows when it left from my mouth. Give the best in the towel, yeah, you wet from the drown. When I step in my crowd, got my legs in the out.
This is Backstage Jazz, and my guest today is trumpeter Koki Renwick from the trio Moon.unit. We're going to play another track off of the live album, and it's called H2O2A. Tell me about this one, Koki.
That one is an original of mine that I had written a couple months back, and I didn't think much of it, but I brought it into this group in particular, and it was quite a big hit for some of our close friends. It's largely inspired by Thelonious Monk. Not so much the melody. The melody was inspired by one of my current teachers, Jason Palmer. He uses a lot of angular melodic lines in his compositions, but the sound of the chords are largely based off of a Thelonious Monk phase that I was going through at the time.
Interesting. That's a good phase to go through.
Yeah, it was.
Well, let's give it a listen now. This is H2O2A from Moon.unit's debut album, Live from Somewhere. You're listening to Backstage Jazz. My guest is trumpeter Koki Renwick from the trio Moon.unit. Well, let's talk about your upcoming Dazzle show, Moon.unit's Dazzle show, and what the audience can look forward to.
We'll be mixing it up a little bit. We have our Muse performance show the night before, so we're trying to have different sets there, but we'll most likely be playing a tune off of that album, one of the originals. Our shows are mostly going to be original tunes written by Jake and I, with possibly one or two covers. Like on the album, we did Gato's Gift, a Joel Ross tune, and Change of Tone, and R plus R equals Now. Mm-hmm. We'll be bringing some of that to the table. We're looking to do some Ron Miles charts to show our Denver and Colorado roots.
Sounds like a fun show. Where can I send our listeners to learn more about Moon.unit's music and upcoming shows? You can find us on Instagram under Moon.unit is a band, and from there you can get to our website, our Facebook page, anything else that you want to find out. I'll send our listeners there in the show notes description of this podcast. What does the upcoming year look like for you and the group? We're starting it off with that tour, a big bang, playing in Chicago, playing in Albuquerque, New Hampshire, Boston, just all around. And then we're looking to do more a studio album release sometime later in the summer, or a little bit later than that. And a reminder for our listeners, Moon.unit will appear at Dazzle in downtown Denver on Saturday, January 6th for a 6 p.m. show. Doors open at 5 p.m. For tickets and more info, go to dazzledenver.com. Thanks for your time today, Koki, and have a great show at Dazzle. Thank you. Looking forward to it.
If you're enjoying the Backstage Jazz Show, we'd love for you to like, subscribe, and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And now, back to the show. The Backstage Jazz Show was recorded at Little Raven Studios in downtown Denver, and our producer was Craig Stevens. You can find Backstage Jazz wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to stop by our website, backstage-jazz.com, where all past and current episodes have been archived. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can email us at backstagejazz@fastmail.com. This is Steve Roby. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Backstage Jazz. You've been listening to the Backstage Jazz Show. Join us next time for more great jazz and interviews with your favorite musicians.